shall call thy message to reach all the corners of the earth.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to a brand new episode of RoundUp.
Our global teams have been working tirelessly to bring you the latest updates and engaging features from around the world.
But before we get started, let's see what we have in store in today's episode.
We begin with an in-depth update on the ongoing crisis in Gaza in our special report. Next, we look at self-defense. And finally, we take a closer look at mini-moons.
Let's start off by getting this week's latest updates. Hassan is here to give us the latest news that's happening from around the world. Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing today?
Walaikum salam, Nasser and Gani bhai. I'm doing well, Jazakallah. Let's take a look at this week's top stories. One of the world's most active volcanoes, Klau, has erupted on Hawaii's Big Island. Spectacular footage shows lava fountains shooting 80 meters into the air. But don't worry, officials say there's no danger to residents right now, as the activity is happening in Hawaii Volcano National Park. Klau, the most active volcano on the island, has been erupting on and off for 40 years. The latest eruption started Monday, with huge cracks spraying molten rock and volcanic gas rising 2,000 meters into the air. Hawaii volcanoes are special. They're not on tectonic plate boundary. Instead, they form over a hotspot where magma pushes up from deep inside the earth. Officials are keeping an eye out for volcanic smog, but for now, it's safe to admire this fiery natural wonder from afar. A passenger plane from Azerbaijan Airlines flying from Baku to Grozny has crashed near Aktau, Kazakhstan. The Embraer 190 aircraft had 67 people on board, 62 passengers and 5 crew. Thankfully, 28 survivors have been rescued so far, and rescue teams are still on site. Reports say the crash might have been caused by a bird strike. The plane had to change its route because of the fog in Grozny, first heading to Makhachkala, then to Aktau. Sadly, the aircraft caught fire upon landing. Azerbaijan Airlines say more details will come as investigations continue. Our thoughts are with everyone affected by this tragedy. The skies over Pokhara, Nepal were filled with colour on Tuesday as the country's first ever international hot air balloon festival took off. Organisers say 25 hot air balloons from around the world are taking part in this 9-day event, which runs until New Year's Day. One pilot, Pietro Cuestra, called the experience fantastic. Locals joined the fun by drumming and snapping photos, even carrying babies to see the show. The festival aims to promote adventure tourism in Nepal, home to 8 of the world's tallest mountains, including Mount Everest. What a high-flying start to the celebrations. Those were the headlines for this week. Over to you, Nasser Ghani. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah Hassan for keeping us informed. Now it's time for our weekly Friday sermon discussion. In the Friday sermon, Hazur Eid al-Talib bin Aziz always provides us with valuable guidance.
That's right, Ghani. And today, Rayan and Uthman will take us through the key messages from this week's sermon. Let's join them now.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to this week's Friday sermon discussion.
Today, we're diving into some moments from early Islamic history in light of beloved Hazur's recent Friday sermon.
These events aren't just stories from the past, they're packed with lessons about leadership, justice and standing up for what's right. Let's start with the expedition of Zayd bin Harisa to the Banu Juzam.
This happened in 6 AH near a place called Hizma, about an 8-night journey from Medina. Dihya Galibi from a meeting with the Caesar of Rome. Along the way, he was ambushed by members of the Banu Juzam tribe.
They took everything he had except an old garment. When the Holy Prophet ﷺ heard about this, he sent Hazrat Zayd with 500 companions to address the situation. The result, the battle where the Muslims recovered stolen items and took prisoners. But here is where it gets really interesting.
The Holy Prophet ﷺ showed incredible fairness. When members of the Banu Juzam tribe came to him and explained they had become Muslims and should have been under protection, he immediately ordered the return of their property. He even expressed deep sorrow for any lives lost in the misunderstanding.
What a powerful example of justice and compassion. The key takeaway here, Islam teaches us to uphold fairness even in tough situations. It's a reminder that battles were never about greed or spoils, but about defending rights and ensuring peace.
Moving on, let's talk about the expedition of Hazrat Ali Radhiyallahu Ta'ala Anhu to Fadak. This was during a tense time when the Jewish tribes of Khaybar were conspiring with the Banu Sa'd tribe against the Muslims.
Hazrat Ali Rizal Anhu led a surprise mission, traveling by night and hiding by day. They captured a spy who revealed the enemy's plan. With his intel, the Muslims launched a swift attack, scattering the enemy forces. What's the takeaway here?
Strategy and intelligence are vital in leadership, but here's the lessons for us. Always be prepared and approach challenges wisely, just like Hazrat Ali Radiallahu Anhu did.
Finally, we have the expedition of Hazrat Abu Bakr Zalanhu to Fazra. It was a tough mission, 350 kilometers from Medina, where the Muslims faced the powerful Banu Fazra tribe and emerged victorious. This shows resilience and courage of the companions.
And the lesson? Never back down from challenges, especially when standing up for truth and justice.
So, to sum it up, these expeditions teach us about justice, compassion, preparation and bravery. And they remind us that the companions of the Holy Prophet ﷺ always upheld Islamic principles even in the toughest situations.
That's all for today. Remember to listen to beloved Huzur's full sermon as it is filled with guidance and wisdom.
Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah, Rayan and Uthman. These discussions provide us with key points, but to gain the full benefit, we need to make sure that we listen to the full Friday sermon. Definitely catch up on it if you missed it. Moving on, up next we have a report from the Middle East. Ghani will review the most recent developments from Gaza and the Middle East. Over to you, Ghani.
Jazakallah, Nasser. Here's the latest on the conflict in Gaza and the Middle East. Things have been really difficult there, with a war between Israel and Hamas causing massive destruction and loss of life. Over 45,000 Palestinians have been killed and almost 2 million people have been forced to leave their homes. Gaza is in crisis with very little food, water or medicine for the people who need it. Israel says it's targeting Hamas fighters, but civilians are the ones who are suffering the most. Entire neighborhoods have been destroyed, and for families still living in Gaza, it's hard to find anywhere safe. There's a small bit of hope though. Countries like Egypt, Qatar and the United States are working to help Israel and Hamas agree to a ceasefire. A ceasefire is when both sides stop fighting and try to work towards peace. Reports suggest that the talks are closer than ever to reaching a deal, but there are still disagreements. One big issue is hostages. Hamas is holding people captive, and Israel wants them freed before making any agreement. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said progress is being made on this, which is a hopeful sign. Meanwhile, the situation in Gaza remains very dangerous. Hospitals are being evacuated because Israel claims Hamas is using them to launch attacks. But this leaves patients and doctors without safe spaces to care for people. Aid workers on the ground are warning that this is making the humanitarian crisis even worse. Especially with winter approaching, families without homes or basic supplies are struggling to survive. At the same time, violence has also spread to the West Bank, another part of the region. In the past week, clashes between Israeli forces and Palestinians has led to even more deaths, adding to the overall tragedy. For people living there, life has become incredibly difficult, with fear and uncertainty every day. The United States says it's pushing hard for peace as well. President-elect Donald Trump has even warned he will take action if the hostages held by Hamas aren't released soon. His comments have added urgency to the talks, making everyone involved feel more pressure to find a solution quickly. For now, it's still a heartbreaking situation for everyone caught in the middle. While the ceasefire talks give us some hope, there's still a long way to go to end the violence. Let's pray these efforts bring peace to the region soon, and we'll keep you updated as things develop.
Jazakallah for that update, Ghani. Let's continue to pray for those that are affected by this violence. May relief and peace be restored in their lives. Ameen. Next up, we're stepping into the world of martial arts. Martial arts is not only a great exercise, but it can also teach us vital self-defense skills. Our team is heading to a self-defense school and learning directly from a trainer. Let's check out their skills.
3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, let's get the joints going.
Today, we're diving into something super important, martial arts and self-defense. Whether you're into sports, looking to build confidence, or just want to stay safe, martial arts can be a game changer. So what exactly is martial arts? It's a whole system of techniques, whether it's karate, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, or boxing, designed to teach you how to defend yourself and build strength, focus, and discipline. I'm here with Tahir at Unleash Self-Defense. So Tahir, what makes martial arts and self-defense so important for young people, especially teens?
It's a great question. It's important because the world is getting more dangerous, unfortunately. And we need to equip our kids, and ourselves also, but especially our kids, to prepare them better for what's to come. Unfortunately, with self-defense, people only think about self-defense when something's already happened. And they're like, okay, I need to learn something so it doesn't happen again. Whereas the smart thing to do is to prepare yourself and your child in case of. And the really cool thing about this training is, people say, why do you learn how to fight? Is it because you like to fight? Actually, I learn how to fight so I don't have to.
Martial arts isn't just about fighting. It's about respect, self-control, and knowing how to handle tough situations. When you learn these skills, you're not only training your body, but also your mind. What would you say to someone who's never tried martial arts, but is maybe a little nervous to start?
First of all, you need to understand in terms of what is it that you would like to learn. Some people would like to go into martial arts or self-defense because they want to then compete. Some people want to just learn for discipline. It really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for teaching yourself, teaching your child how to really, truly defend themselves in real life, you got to go for self-defense. Look for something realistic and something which incorporates all aspects.
Self-defense is a huge part of martial arts. Knowing how to protect yourself can give you a real sense of safety and confidence, especially in situations where you might feel vulnerable.
So previously you were looking at more of the basic stuff that we do, but I'm going to show you one technique. It's a simple technique that we now incorporate into our actual self-defense training, and it's called this Shape 1 block. It's a block which most people haven't seen before, but let's go through it. What's the most common attack on the street? It's this punch, okay? And most likely it's going to be the right hand because most people are right-handed. So people because they don't know how to punch, they kind of do that swing, okay? So the swing comes at me and you go like, wow, that's your karate block, but look, I'm wide open. You can hit me with the other one. You can do boxing, like, okay, but again, I'm kind of open. But this block now, just look, ready, and go, like, boom. And again, go. It's nice and simple. But in real life, you don't know whether he's going to be punching you with this hand or the other hand. So what if he throws this one instead? I can transition to the other side, but I'm not going to because I don't know what he's throwing. So I'm just going to keep the same block, but he's now going to hit me with this one instead. So ready, go. And again, go. It still works. Now he's going to throw a straight instead, okay? Karate, if you do that, if I mistime it, I'm going to get hit. But here, again, the same block works for all three. In fact, do all three really quickly. He's now going to go 1, 2, 3. Ready, go. And then go. It will protect you no matter what the person throws at you, okay? So how do we do this block? First of all, turtleneck, because we absorb the punches. So this is really important. Second thing is, I'm going to now mirror you. Left hand goes to the back of the neck, like that, okay? So the left hand goes to the back of the neck, turtleneck, forearm against your temple here. Right hand comes over your forehead, grab your wrist, and keep it nice and tight. So, one more time, and good. Okay, so how do we do this? Let's do two together. Left hand, back of the neck, right hand over your forehead, grab your wrist. What's also really cool about this block is it really helps in a multiple attacker scenario. So if you have 3 or 4 people attacking you at the same time, so I'm here, he's going to hit me from the front, I'm protected, hit me from the side, protected, protected, protected. It covers the 7 main points of knockout. Back of the neck 1, sides of the neck 2, 3, chins 4, 5, temples 6, 7. So there's a lot more detail, obviously it takes practice, but for now, just practice that block. And for more information, you know where to go.
There's no better time to start now. Martial art can help you stay strong, focused and prepared for anything life throws at you?
I feel like nowadays a lot of people get into fights, especially people around my age. They get into fights with some kids who are older than them, some kids who are around the same age. And I just feel like it's a very important life lesson that can go years forward.
I think it's good for self-defense, and because my little brother does it, and I just have a passion for teaching younger kids self-defense and stuff, so helping them.
For the past 2 years, my dad said I've changed so much. I've became more confident, I became more disciplined, became more responsible, stuff like that.
It's helped me mentally and physically, so it's a good workout and will help you in life situations if anything happens.
Whether you're looking to make new friends or just feel more confident walking down the street, martial arts has something for you. It's all about finding the strength inside you.
Unleash, let's go!
Wow, those were some really amazing moves. Isn't that right, Gunny?
Couldn't agree more.
Self-defense is something everyone should consider learning, and it's a great way to stay active.
It can really build confidence, strength, and practical skills.
Moving on, up next, we're looking to the skies. Recently, an exciting discovery was made when astronomers found a mini-moon orbiting the Earth. Let's find out how this discovery was made and why scientists are so intrigued.
A unique visitor, fondly called a mini-moon, is saying goodbye to Earth this week. Scientists have been tracking this small asteroid, named 2024 PT5, for months, and it's finally heading back into deep space. The school bus-sized asteroid, first spotted in August by NASA's Atlas detection system, is believed to be a chunk of rock ejected from the moon after a dramatic asteroid impact. Though small, this celestial traveler has been following an unusual horseshoe-shaped orbit around Earth, never fully circling the planet. This mini-moon has been cruising through space at a distance of over 2 million miles, making it safe and impossible to see without specialized telescopes. But here's the exciting part. Scientists predict it will make a much closer pass in January 2025 before vanishing until 2055. 2024 PT5 isn't alone in its journey. It's part of the Arjuna asteroid belt, a cluster of space rocks with orbits similar to Earth's. What's more, its lunar origins highlight how asteroid collisions can shape the solar system. So, how does an asteroid become a mini-moon? It needs to approach Earth slowly, at just 2,200 miles per hour, and stay within a range of 2.8 million miles to be temporarily captured by Earth's gravity. Even then, it might only stick around for weeks or months. Mini-moons are rare, but not unheard of, making each encounter a special event for astronomers and space enthusiasts alike. These fleeting visitors provide unique opportunities for scientists to study the composition, behavior, and origins of space rocks, offering clues about the early solar system. Who knows, perhaps the next mini-moon will bring even more surprises, sparking new discoveries and deepening our understanding of the universe. Although the mini-moon is on its way out, it's not goodbye forever. Mark your calendars for January 2025, when it will zip past Earth once again. Until then, keep looking up.
That was really interesting. I think it goes to show that the universe holds a lot of surprises and there's so much to learn.
Of course. And it's very fascinating to see scientific discoveries like this even in this day and age.
Well, with that, we've reached the end of another episode. We hope you enjoyed today's stories and special features.
Make sure to join us again next week for more global news, stories, and exciting segments.
And while you wait for next week, remember to stay connected by following our social media for behind-the-scenes content and updates.
But until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, I shall call, oh, I shall call, I shall call, oh, I shall call, I shall call. Thy message to reach all the corners of the earth. Oh, I shall call, oh, I shall call, I shall call, oh, I shall call, I shall call. Thy message to reach all the corners of the earth. Oh, I shall call, oh, I shall call, I shall call, oh, I shall call, I shall call. Thy message to reach all the corners of the earth.